1, 2, 3, funk it.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday and it is story time. I am going to draw a few cards. I'm going to make it very quick for you guys. I don't want it to be as long as last time because I feel like I just went on about it and the whole story time was mostly cards and talking about the cards, and I feel like that's not what I want to do with story time. So I am gonna still draw cards, draw some affirmations. I have a few cards that I want to do today that are different than I usually do. I keep them in here because these do not have like a box. So I have two of them in here. One is a crystal deck, and I'm going to go through that one first. And then the next one is like another like affirmation. So I'm just going to do those two, and then we will get into the story time for today. But if you guys are just joining in, I want you guys to just sit down, relax, get your coffee, get your tea, your breakfast, your lunch, whatever time it may be for you guys, and maybe light a candle, an incense, and kind of just like relax with me. There's a couple things I want to go over and talk to you guys about today. So I am also going to share that I do have my necklace, and I have this is like one of those necklaces that you could change the crystals out. So today I have my amethyst crystal, and I've been just drawn to this one because of my trying to be more intuitive and more kind of like connected with my intuition. So, and I know amethyst kind of brings that out. So I've been trying to just kind of be more in tune and search from within, because I usually search like not within, like searching and researching. I feel like I am a Gemini, so my mind is always racing. So anyways, let's get into the cards real quick. And if you want to skip the cards, I will leave a timestamp right here for you guys to go ahead and skip through, so you guys don't have to hear that. But getting started, the first one, okay, let's see. The first one that I'm going to draw, and I'm going to just, this is the card, how they look. It's like a crystal deck. And I do have the book back there, so I might grab it. But the first card is going to be rose quartz. So it says a different kind of love. And this is the card. And I don't know why it's not focusing. But I will try to pause and leave the meaning here. I just don't want this video, like I said, to be so long. So I will leave a short little meaning there for you guys, for anyone that wants to know the exact meaning for that card, for the crystal card, rose quartz. The next one that is calling out is obsidian, and it is sharp and shadows. And so this is the card, and I don't know why, for some reason it doesn't want to focus on the words, but I will leave that meaning, and I'm going to draw one more for you guys. So rose quartz is following you guys today. It's guiding you guys. I guess I should say it like that. This one fell out, so this is going to be the last one that the angels or the crystals are calling for. Sorry, it just turned yellow for some reason. There. Okay, so this card is, let's see, turquoise. Oh, how funny. I've been drawn to like blue lately, so if you guys see, like I have like this blue eyeshadow, kind of like my eyeliner. And I know it's almost Christmas, so I've been trying to, I don't know, get more creative with my looks and kind of feel more like festive, I guess. But so this is turquoise, and it says find your way home. Find your way home. And it has the birds. And so these are the crystals that are calling for you guys today. And it is trying to guide you, and I'll leave the meaning for that. The next cards are going to be just quick little like affirmation cards. They just have like little phrases on them. And so I'm going to go ahead and just shuffle these really quick for you guys. And I feel like they're already trying to jump out at me. I do sometimes just pick them, but I just like when I shuffle and something just calls out, because it just feels more like just intuitive. Oh, like, hey, that's a meaning right there that's supposed to be out. Like, it just feels like more of a sign to me than just like shuffling, cutting it, and then pulling. I don't like doing that. So the first one is don't be a victim. And hopefully that is focusing. So don't be a victim. Recognize when you are in victim mode and know you can be free of it. After a trauma, make the choice to stop hurting. So that's what the card says. And I love the little image of the door, the path, and the door is opening. So just remember, do not be the victim and just keep moving forward. And then the next one that fell out was, it's all related. Oh, wow. So that is the card. And it says, your relationship, good and bad, teach you about life and love. Not only for others, but also for yourself. That's beautiful. And then we get another bird card. So if you see birds today or this week, just remember that those are your angels guiding you. So, or your spirit animal. It's a sign to confirm that this is what message you needed to hear today. Okay, let's do one more because I don't know why I'm feeling 3. Okay, let's see. My computer just turned off. I need to get a new light because I feel like all my lights are breaking on me. Okay, so the last one before we start story time, and I want to make this story time a little bit like shorter, kind of, because I feel like the last one was just way too long. So let's see, is there any other messages we need to hear today for the collective? Any other messages? Oh, okay, this one fell, so I'm gonna read that one. And it says, you can change your world in 16 seconds. And I love this, and it has like a little clock. It's so pretty. You see the little time, and it's true, you can, just like your mind. Like if you're in a bad mood, which I feel like lately I've been like a little moody lately, but it's my choice to be like that, and I could quickly change it if I wanted to. But I'm gonna read this for you guys. So your wish will begin to manifest when you focus on it for just 16 seconds. Provided your vibration is high, raise your vibration with thoughts and memories that make you feel happy, excited, and joyful. So if you guys are trying to manifest anything today, just sit with yourself, or maybe try to, like it's like the card says, I try to do this sometimes when I'm feeling down or when I'm feeling low or I'm not in a mood. Play some music, get you motivated, get your vibration up there, and start to feel good about yourself. Dance a little, move, feel like a child again, you know, and bring that inner child out. Once you do that, get yourself ready, sit with your like thoughts in a quiet place. Like I said in the beginning, light a candle, an incense, dim the lights, and kind of just relax and like sit there for 16 seconds and just think about what you want to manifest, what you want to bring into this life. What do you want to see change in your world? So I think I'm going to practice that tonight, because sometimes I'm like that too. I feel like I just have so much going on, so much on my mind, and I'm like racing all the time, and I'm always like, I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I want to do all of this stuff. And my mind, I just don't shut it down ever. And I have to control that. So if you're like me and you have to control that, raise your vibration, control yourself, control your thoughts, write it down if you need to get it off your like brain, your mind, and then just sit with yourself for a minute and realize, what is it that you truly desire and that you want to manifest into your life? And do it now. Don't say like, oh, for next year, 2023, or this and this. No, do it now. Start today. So I'm going to end the card reading here, and we're going to get into story time. All right, guys. So for story time today, I was thinking we talk about dreams. And I think the reason why I feel drawn to dreams lately is because I've been getting a lot of like visions, downloads when I'm sleeping, and just like little signs. Sometimes I don't do my own card reading, and I will listen to someone just because I am new to this. So sometimes it just feels right to hear it from someone else, another perspective. And I was thinking, what should I talk about today? And when I actually sat down to try to think about stories, and I have so many stories that I could go into details with. Some are very personal, and I just don't feel right talking about it right now. And you know, they are spiritual, they are like faith, I guess. And I just feel like right now it's not the time for that. I even thought like, hey, sharing the story of like how and when me and my husband met, but I think that is personal too, like really personal. And I don't know, the way I'm trying to do story time is I'm trying to do it more spiritual. So more of like a spiritual enlightenment and a more of a spiritual journey, and what I've been going through since forever ago into when I started becoming spiritual. I've never considered myself spiritual. I've always just, you know, I never looked into it until recently. So when I sat down with myself and I thought about how I wanted story time to go and how I would like to continue it, and maybe later down the road turn it into a podcast and start writing my actual stories, I just know that there's certain stories that just don't belong in the story time. So with that being said, I think that I am just going to go into my dreams a little more. I feel like I have very vivid dreams, and when I dream, I feel like I am actually in that place. And when I see people, I actually feel, have you ever felt like when you woke up, like you were actually there doing that? Like the person was there with you. You felt like it was not a dream. Like it actually felt like you were in like another dimension, another world or so. That's how I feel sometimes. And before I go into the stories, last night I was laying down with my husband and we were watching this show called Dark Materials, which I love. I love that show. They just came out with the new season. I think this is season 3, but it took them a while to make this one. I watched a while ago season 1 and 2 on I think it was HBO Max, and I love it. And I want to say when I started watching that, I was getting more into like not witchcraft, but like tarot, learning about like witches, learning about magic, because my abuela Angela, my grandmom, Angela, she actually, that's like around the time that she told me about her side of the family and her great-great-grandmom, you know, if you've heard it in story time, that, you know, she was telling me about witches. And I don't know how this came up, but we were just talking about it. So I was like finding shows that felt like related and felt just magical and just like, I don't know, I was like into that. And I am a researcher. So once I find something that like sparks something in my heart, in my brain, in my soul, like I look into it so I can know a little bit more and understand it a little bit better. So I was watching that show last night, and I want to say we were on episode 3, I believe, or maybe it was 4. And if you guys remember, if you actually listened, I talked about one of my stories of like being in another land, or not land, but land, mystical land. No, but being in like another like realm, I guess, like another dimension. And we were in like not heaven, but like in the waiting area. I'm gonna butcher this because my pronunciation right now with everything is off. But Protagary. Oh, I will leave it here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I am talking about like the waiting room before you go to heaven or hell, or when they weigh out the balance of life, life, your story. And when I was watching that show, I was like, that is so weird, because the way I saw that waiting area in my dream was so similar. And I've never seen like a movie or a show or anything that has like shown it, if that's the right word, like the way that I saw it in my dream. And I kind of like got goosebumps. I was like, and I looked at my husband and I told him, I was like, Ahmed, it's so weird, but the way they're showing this is kind of like how I saw it in my dream. The water in the area, like dark and like, I don't know. The waiting area, the benches, the way the people were, the way that the dead was just sitting and waiting, or walking and waiting to whatever line or wherever they needed to go in the waiting room. It wasn't exactly like it, because the way they did it was, it looked like kind of like a warehouse. Mine was more of an open air. So it was like, say you're at like some kind of beach or something, but it's not a beach. And you know how at the end there's just water, and then there's like the street and then water, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. And then there's like tables in the beginning, and then if you go around, there's like bus station. So it's like a train or bus station, but like the way I saw it, at least, it seemed like everything was open. It wasn't like inside a building or anything. And then we walked and there was like green and like two sides, animals and, you know, people or so. but it was so weird because I was like, that is so similar to the dream. And I was just like, I've never seen anyone, I've seen people do it like a doctor's office, like a waiting room or something, but not as similar as that. So it made me think like, what? Like, some of our dreams are so vivid, are so real, and we think that it's just a dream. You know, we feel like, you know what, it's just our thoughts, it's just what we're thinking, it's just this and this. But dreams have so much meaning in them. And sometimes if you're so connected to a certain thing or so passionate about it, I feel like there's more like signs and more.
I don't understand. We walked and there was like.
Series wants to talk to me. I swear sometimes when I'm talking and I'm here alone or with the kids or with my husband or whatever, I swear she'd be listening to me. She's like always listening to me. I have to put the watch on the charger. I hear a lawnmower now. Okay. And there's no one here to cut the grass, so what the heck is that? Maybe it's the neighbors. Anyways, so it was so weird. And I feel like, hold on, now I'm thirsty. So it was just like too much of a coincidence, you know what I mean? Hold on. My bad, guys. I lost my train of thought, and then my husband called me. Series was going off. Everything was like just stopping me. But pretty much what I was saying was that dreams are so real, and sometimes we think it's just a dream or it's just, you know, us, the last thing we thought about or whatever. But I feel like there's more to our dreams. I feel like I know there's more people that know a little more about dreams, study dreams, and all of that. So there's more meaning into that, of course. But there's more, like, I feel like when we're dreaming, we're more connected to God in the spirit world, or like another dimension or so, another realm. And it's just like this lining, like a thin lining that's able to kind of like touch it, like reach over and give you some of that meaning or give you some of that hope. I remember a time, which I would never forget, because so back in 2010, I was pregnant with my first child, Zayden, and I was taking care of my grandfather, which I was very, very close to. I was always with him and my abuela, my grandma, Maria, and just like, it's kind of hard to explain, but I was pregnant and I was taking care of him. My uncle asked me to stay with her to help, but also to help with my grandfather. So while I was pregnant, I was actually living with my grandmother at the time and helping her with my grandfather. He had a lot of bed sores. He had to be fed through a feeding tube, and it was just really hard to see him like that. But when he was like awake and everything, it was so nice. He would, you know, talk to me. He would tell me and my grandma that there was a little kid in the corner. Like, he's like, wait, go get that kid. That kid's over there. He's gonna get hurt. He's hiding under the table. And me and my grandma would look at each other like, what? There's no kid here. Like, there's no one here. Just us, you know? So it was like so crazy, the things he would say, the things he would see. And sometimes he would turn into a kid and think he was a kid, and he would like try to fight us and like push us away and this and this. And then I remember him telling me that in my stomach So this was probably in 2009. So before I officially found out that I was having a boy, he would tell me that I was having a boy. And I was like, no, it's not a boy. It's going to be a girl. Because I want to say they checked too early and they told me that it was a girl. And then for some reason, they never checked again. I don't know if it was like my insurance at the time or the doctor's office. But later down the road, I found out that I was having a boy. My husband's like, I knew it the whole time. So, he was like, no, you're gonna have a boy. And then I remember him telling me, and shortly after, you're gonna have another boy. You're gonna have 2 boys. And I'm just like, what? No, I'm not gonna have another one. I'm not gonna have another boy. No, I'm just having one. He's like, no, there's gonna be 2 boys. And I'm like, okay. So, crazy story. I had Zayden, and then a year and a half after I think they're exactly a year and a half apart. And because Zayden is May 20 and Destin is November 20. So Zayden is May 20, 2010, and Destin is November 20, 2011. So it's so crazy. I started thinking like, what? Abuelo knew. He knew that I was going to have another boy. And then, of course, a couple years down the road, I had another boy, Presley. But just them 2 together, so close together, too. It's just, yeah. He knew. He told me. And I actually named Zayden Rodolfo after my grandfather. Because he passed away, I want to say in March or April or so of 2010, and it was just before I had Zayden. And so the reason why I'm telling you this is because in my dream I actually saw him, and I want to say it was maybe a couple months, maybe a year, I'm not sure, but he comes to me in my dreams every now and then. And the way I saw him the first time was at a waiting station. I want to say it was only a couple days or maybe a month or so after he passed. I don't really remember. It's been a while. But he came to me in my dream. And that dream felt so real. Like I was there talking with him. And we were at a waiting station. It felt like a bus station. This one, there was a building, but there's always a bench. So it makes it feel like it's like you're waiting. I don't know. So weird. But there was a bench there, and he came to me and he talked with me. He told me, come here, have a seat. And he told me a couple things, and he told me to look out for my grandma and make sure, she's never alone and all of this stuff, and I don't want to get into details because I do not want to cry, because it felt so real. Like he was actually there talking with me. And after I told everyone, they're like, oh yeah, that was probably him. He came to you, he came to you to tell you. And he knew that, I would say something, or I would, I don't know. It's crazy. So I swear, after a couple times after that, even recently, like maybe a couple months ago or a year ago, he came to me too. And he told me, no, he didn't tell me. So my Uncle Rudy, he is like top dog or whatever of the family. Like he's the one that has the money. He's a doctor, entrepreneur, businessman. He's the guy that has the money. He's like the millionaire, okay? So he said one year that he was not gonna have Christmas at his house anymore for some reason. I don't know. But come to find out, he's actually having Christmas at his house. And I feel like my dream is everywhere and my story is everywhere. But there's like little, in-betweeners that you kind of have to say because then you don't understand. But he said that he would never have it. He announced recently, well, a couple months back probably, that he is actually having Nochebuena, which we call, night before Christmas, the 24th, at his house. And my dream, a couple months ago, or I want to say a year ago, and I was like, oh no, he's not going to have Christmas at his house. My grandfather was in there. The whole family was at his house, Rudy's house. I'm going to say my uncle's house. And I see all the kids, everyone together, having a good time, the Christmas tree, all of this. And I see my grandfather there. And he's looking at me. He's like, looking at me. And I'm like, Abuelo, you're here. Like, I haven't seen you in forever, And then right next to him is my grandma. And I'm like, hi, Abuela. And I give her a hug and a kiss. And I see my uncle Lázaro, my aunt Lisandra. I see my mom. I see my uncle Gerard. And I'm saying everyone's name because I'm like trying to remember. But I see everybody there. And my uncle Gerard tells me, Cristina, look at that tree right there. And I was like, what? The Christmas tree? I was like, that tree is so beautiful. He's like, but look closely. It's a money tree. And I was like, a money tree? What? And he's like, yes, all that money on that tree is for the whole family. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yes, this is a big celebration. And that's why Abuelo is here with us. Because he's here to confirm that the whole family is going to be good. And that, what else? And that no one in the family will have to worry. That we will be protected. And, let me knock on wood and whatever, I'm not trying to like brag or trying to say, oh, this and this, my uncle is going to like take care of everyone. No, I'm not trying to say any of that. But it was such a weird dream because it's not something that I think about. It's not something like I always try to work hard and all this. I think about everybody. So if I could help you in any way, even if I don't have money, even if I'm poor, even if whatever, if I, like my grandma always says too, if I have it, you have it. If I don't have it, we don't have it. So I learned that from my grandma. I learned that from my mom, that she learned that from her mom. And I'm teaching my kids that because you know what? It's not all about money. It's not all about all of, yes, money could get you to where you need to be. Yes, it could get you to help. But it is not just about the money. Because if you have it and you do not help or you do not do anything with it, what do you have to show for it? Like, what is it? Why can't you help? So I always felt like if I have it, even if I only have $10, you need it, you need it for some reason. I'm not rich, but I will help you. So I don't know. I've always, just thought that. And to see my grandfather there, the whole family there, happy, and everyone just saying that, everyone will be okay, to not worry about everyone. It was just, I don't know, like a blessing. But I just feel like my grandfather was there for a reason. And he was trying to tell me something again. And I want to say after that, I saw him maybe one more time. I want to say I saw him like 2 or 3 times. And then I haven't seen him since. But I feel like also I don't want to like think about it too much or like bother him. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you want people to rest in peace. And you want them to know that, things are okay over here. To not worry. And so I start to think like I'm not trying to call him because I'm not trying to say like, Because, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, well, if Abuelo was here or if this person was here, you know, you start thinking like, oh, am I calling them out? Like, am I calling them to my dreams? Am I making them come out of their, you know, peace, their serenity, their, you know, state of heaven? So, I don't know. It's just like these dreams that I have, and then I get messages or confirmations in the real world when I wake up that is just like, there's something there. If you guys are having like dreams like that, pay close attention to it. Pay really close attention, because there is always a meaning in that dream. There's always a lesson to be learned in that dream too, because it could be yourself trying to guide you to something else, or trying to guide you to open your heart, open your mind, open up that spirit inside you that is calling for something else. Now, I know sometimes there are bad dreams and scary dreams, and I'm not going to say that I don't have those. I do, but I feel like I've prayed and always asked my angels to protect me, to guide me, to watch over me and my family. I pray for everyone in my family, and just to make sure that we are safe. And I feel like the only time I really have like something like a scary dream or like a bad dream or so is when I have too much sugar at night. Does that happen to you guys? Because I notice that if I eat too late, like sweets or chocolate or something, I end up having like a nightmare or a bad dream. But other than that, I usually have like dreams that are either something I'm thinking about or vision dreams. And I could tell when it's a vision dream, it's completely different. And sometimes I remember them completely and sometimes I don't. But that is it for story time. I'm trying to make this short. I'm sorry. I know I kind of go everywhere in the story, but it's just like when I talk about one thing, I have to explain the other thing to be able to continue that. So my reason for all of this is that dreams have meaning, and there's meaning in the waking world. So pay close attention to what you're dreaming about and see if there's any meaning in there that comes and carries on into your real world, to start manifesting the correct way and start manifesting the things that you want in life, because there's always signs to point you in the right direction. Well, I'm going to end it there with my little dream rant. And as always, if you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment down below. What is the craziest dream you've had recently? Or if you feel the same way about dreams as I do. And if there's any meaning to that. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
1, 2, 3, funky.